Hey, what's up, friends and fam of YouTube? I decided I would do a follow-up video today with our Fpace S. I've been getting a lot of a lot of replies on my other video I did on the Fpace. It hasn't been on the channel a lot just because it's kind of staying stock. But people are like, it's been a couple years. How is it still? So let me first off start by saying this has been one of the best vehicles we've owned, surprisingly. We jumped into this thing as soon as we've wanted one since they came out, but when COVID hit, we were sitting at home bored looking at vehicles, and we decided, you know what, let's go test drive one and finally get one if we like it after test drive. So we did. It's been just under 2 years since we took possession of this thing, and it hasn't been in the dealership at all. The only time it's in the dealership is for the oil changes and the routine maintenance you're supposed to do every, interval. So I think we did up to 72,000, but we just hit 50,000 kilometers. So we've owned it for 30,000 kilometers, 32,000. And like I said, no issues whatsoever. Our biggest issue was just the infotainment system would not, sometimes we'd be driving and there'd be no sound. We would check on the forums, and I guess it was a common thing that you had to go back to the dealership for and get them to reflash or update the infotainment system. After we did that, we had no issues with it whatsoever, but it's been great. I just finished detailing it and ceramic coating it. I also did the interior in this VRP stuff from Chemical Guys, and let me tell you, this is the stuff to use. I've been through a lot, and if you want to keep it looking brand new, literally, and protect it, this is what I use. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'm trying to think of the negatives that we've experienced with this thing. Mainly what it comes down to is costs of oil changes, even though they say not to change the oil until it hits 26,000 kilometers or 6 months, I think. But I'm a car enthusiast and I don't believe in changing oil every 26,000 kilometers. It is sitting at 10,000 kilometers now, and I hate it. It's booked in for the end of this month, so we have 2 more weeks. Then the oil will be changed, but usually I don't like going over 10,000 kilometers on an oil change, and they're around $300 Canadian, and you cannot find the oil at a consumer level in Canada yet. Not sure about the US. So that's a major pain. A second major pain is the windshield cost. The windshield cost for this thing is between $1,600 and $2,000. So our windshield needs replaced. We live in Alberta, so we're gonna replace it, and then we're gonna get a rock chip right after. So we're gonna save the $2,000 and not replace it until we absolutely have to. But yeah, it's been an awesome vehicle for us. Like I said, no major issues whatsoever. It's a great vehicle. I don't know what else to say. We went into it kind of expecting it to be finicky in some areas, but it's honestly been a great vehicle, and the quality of the interior is spot on. So let's go inside the interior and I'll show you guys around. All right, so I mean, like, look at that VRP stuff. Like, we did this probably a month ago-ish, and the interior looks absolutely brand new. The problem with that VRP stuff, though, is that you have to make sure you get it all, because if you miss a spot, that spot's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So, yeah, the one thing I will say is that the piano black is beautiful. You can see. But it scratches so easily, so that would be like another like, I'm honestly scraping at the bit here because there's not a lot of negatives that we've experienced with this thing. But the piano black stuff, if you wipe it with a cloth, you are going to scratch it. It's just inevitable. So I decided to put this carbon fiber wrap on. I purchased it online, and it works and looks phenomenal while protecting. This actually gets a lot of compliments, even from the dealership, and it's protecting the plastic beneath it without scratching it. But this one up here, we left, so every time I clean it, I just take a microfiber and I just lightly brush it along, But it's been phenomenal. We have the tech package, so we have the full display up there, so we could put the whole navigation up there. We can totally customize our gauges. It's freaking out on the camera, I can see, but in real life it's not. So it's probably like an OLED screen. But yeah, it's totally customizable. Very cool. This one is the S, so it has the race mode in it. Once you turn it into race mode, everything turns red and the gauges realign. It's just been an awesome vehicle. I really don't know what to say because it's just a stock vehicle, but people are asking me the update. And this is pretty much the update, guys. There has been no issues with this thing whatsoever, so it's been an awesome vehicle. We plan on keeping it for a while, possibly upgrading to the 2018. Ours did come with the SVR wheels, so we lucked out there. But that's all I have for you today. I wanted to update you because people are asking, so hopefully that answers your question. If you're thinking about buying an Fpace, I do recommend the S because that's the one we have. That is the V6 supercharged, and they have been pretty well known to go for a long time without any problems. Local to me, there are some cars, because the cars came out with this engine before the SUVs, obviously, I think around 2012, and some of them have 250,000 K, and all of the ads that do say the engine is great, no leaks, pulls hard. So I think the drivetrain in this thing is bulletproof, you know, for the most part. They sound great. We get great gas mileage. We get around 30 miles per gallon on the highway, and we're getting about 9.8 liters per 100 between highway and city, because when my wife does go to work, she takes a highway, but she does a lot of city driving as well. So it's like, you know, I'd say 10 liters per 100 combined, which is pretty spot on. But look at this thing. It's just beautiful. I think it's the best looking SUV on the market. The new ones are really nice as well, but I do like the back ends of the 2018 better. So yeah, there's our Fpace S. This one specifically has the black package, so everything's blacked out, the tech package. And like I said, we haven't had any issues with it. The only issues that we see with it is the cost of stuff like the windshield, cost of the maintenance, like the oil changes. Even though you can go 26,000 K, supposedly, I would never do that. It's still a $300 oil change, and right now we can't buy the oil. So if I could, I would. Another thing I don't like is that you don't have a dipstick. You can't check the oil yourself. You have to go into the infotainment and it just says the life, right? It's actually not looking at the oil. I don't think anyway. It doesn't have a laboratory in the engine, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hopefully this answered all your questions on how it's doing. All right. Peace, everybody.